What's going on, guys? Klinger here today, and I want to give you guys an overview on how to control recoil in Phantom Forces. It breaks down to there's like 4 separate components that you need to look at, and we're gonna hit all of them, and hopefully we can get you better at being able to control recoil in Phantom Forces. Okay, so if you're new and you like this kind of stuff, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you would, leave a like and comment. That helps the channel out a lot, and I'd really appreciate it. So, hey, let's get cracking into it. So, there's 2 kinds of recoil. There's vertical recoil, horizontal recoil. And there's 2 types of ways to shoot. You can ADS or you can hip fire. Those are the segments, right? So, first things first, we gotta break our recoil into vertical recoil. And what I talk about vertical recoil, it's up and down recoil. Horizontal recoil is side to side. There's also, I forgot to mention this, I need to mention this, there's rotational recoil. So pretty much like the HK21, if you see that, if you shoot, the recoil should go side to side. Okay, do I know you? Why you shoot at me? But you're strange, dude. But rotational recoil, side to side recoil, you kind of like rotate in circles. Obviously that is more on LMGs and SMGs, like high fire rate SMGs more than anything. But our standard AR is going to have vertical recoil or horizontal recoil. So when we're talking about vertical recoil, how do we control vertical recoil? You got to break it up. What type of gun are you using? Do you want to use an AR? Do you want to be accurate as heck? Or are you going to use your gun hip fire wise? If we're ADS, I'd really recommend a stubby grip. That is probably the best grip for ADS. And that brings your recoil more center line, more horizontal. All right, so when we equip this stubby grip, our recoil is going to be locked up and down. And then we equip our muzzle on it. The best muzzle to decrease up and down recoil is the muzzle brake. We equip that and our groupings get closer and closer together. You don't want a giant spread on your grouping. You want it as close together as possible and the best accuracy as possible, so you can hit those shots, you can hit those flicks, all that stuff. So if you're looking at a gun that has vertical recoil, you equip a muzzle brake on it. It brings that grouping down more center line. If you're looking at, we'll go to the AKM for an instance. If we look at a stock AKM, it drifts more side to side, right? A compensator helps so much with side to side recoil. The compensator is really good for side to side recoil, and that brings it more center line. You really can't control horizontal recoil, but you can control vertical recoil. If you equip the compensator on your AK, you're gonna go from side to side, up to up and down, and that's going to help you hit more shots because you can't drag down. If you have a lot of vertical recoil, you can drag down a little bit, so that's going to help with that. Just by equipping that compensator, if I shoot at the wall right here, you should notice the grouping is more tight and not as spread apart and not like wider, you know. We try to bring that as close as possible. So just messing with your attachments and just knowing the standard stuff makes a huge difference. Okay, so that's gonna be your standard AR. If we go over to a gun like the Colt SMG, this thing has a lot of recoil, right? This thing spreads a lot of stuff. Like, it shoots fast, you have a lot of spread. You have 1,000 RPM, it's gonna have a nice spread. If we spawn in, this has a muzzle brake and a stubby grip on it. If we spawn in, we shoot, the grouping's pretty good. Obviously it's an SMG, so it has a high kick up, but just pulling down, if you go to shoot and you pull down a little bit, look how we can control that a lot better than just letting it ride up, you know. That's another way to help. If you just pull down a little bit, you'll be able to draw that recoil down, you know. Another thing that might help on some of these SMGs, this doesn't really necessarily lower recoil, but it visually like helps recoil. So if you equip a true one-time scope like the DCL or the if I can find it, the AMT Terminator. This visually makes it so like you can't tell there's recoil. So if you're using a high fire rate like SMG, like a PPSH or a Colt, if you do that, I mean, you can't tell there's recoil. Obviously your spreads are a little out of whack, not as good as full-on ADSing, but like you can't tell the difference, you know. And then you might get a little bit of crap from in lobbies, but the DCL does the same thing, but you can actually ADS, so you have a tighter group and you can pull down a little bit, you know. Our normal spray is just riding up like that. If we reload, we can pull down a little bit, boom, our group's like that. It's not bad. This is a lot better than like a normal sight because you're not zoomed in as much. This helps, the DCL helps with rotational recoil, so this will help on your like HK21s and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, stuff like that will help. I don't want to necessarily tell you like the AMT Terminator is the way to go if you have a high fire rate gun, but like you don't see the recoil. It doesn't actually change the recoil, you just don't see the recoil. You know. But yeah, there you go. There's my way on how to lower recoil. I hope this helped a little bit. Let me know in the comments what you think, but it's kind of like you can do it visually. Obviously, if you want to hip fire, you can equip like a pistol grip or a vertical grip, stuff like that. That'll help hip fire wise. I focus more on ADS because at the end of the day, hip fires kind of just last resort close quarters. You're not gonna hip fire someone across map, you know. So like, and as far as rotational recoils goes, if you go compensator, like if we use the HK21, if you go a compensator, it'll make it more vertical, and then you can use like a pistol grip or something like that. You can use the DCL, just bring it more center line, you know. You don't want spread side to side, you want to have center line spread. So that's kind of it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned a little bit, but yeah, that's kind of just like the standard line on how to control recoil in Phantom Forces. I know I talked a lot, so there might have been a lot of facts spitting out there, and maybe I wasn't right on all this stuff. Let me know. But yeah, there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys later. Okay, peace.